Hello, and welcome to Mandarin Slang Guide, MSG, the Chinese show that tastes great and probably isn't all that bad for you. I'm your host, Joshua Ogden Davis, and it's my job to give you all those delicious Chinese slang words that your textbook just isn't telling you. Today, we're going to talk about some business jargon. Just like English has pervasive buzzwords like synergy or disruption, Chinese has lots of business jargon, and if you're working with or working in a Chinese company, I guarantee you've run into some of these words before. Today, we'll focus on these words: 领导, leader; 创新, innovation; 突破, breakthrough; 格局, structure; and a few others. To help us understand these words and the culture behind them, I've asked old friend and former business rival Josh Lee to walk us through it all. Hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh. It's like calling myself.
Josh is an impressive man.
I'm co-founder and then also managing director of We Marketing Group. And then We Marketing, actually, our name is We, W-E, and then it's as simple as that. It's East meets West.
He helps foreign companies enter the Chinese market, and he helps Chinese companies go abroad. So he is at the epicenter of cross-cultural communication. And he's a very busy man, but nonetheless, he took the time to read this very silly conversation and help us learn some slang. Are you ready? Let's go.
李总李总，我们对一下我的方案。
你的方案有问题，不够创新。
啊？什么意思？
就是没有突破，格局不够大嘛。
好吧，那我重改。
快点吧，下午要给领导汇报哦。
Did you get it all? Don't worry, Josh and I will talk you through it. But first, I wanted to talk with Josh about some of the cultural differences that you'll run into if you work for or interact with Chinese companies. I talked with Josh for over an hour, and he gave a masterclass in business culture, but this is a slang podcast, so for today, I'll just share some of the highlights that relate directly to how you should communicate with your own Chinese coworkers. At some point in the future, I'll probably release the whole interview as a special bonus episode, so that'll be cool. But right now, I want to jump in at a part where Josh was talking about how culture influences both the structure of Chinese companies and also the way that they communicate internally.
I would firmly believe that every company, big or small, is a little kind of a miniature of the society, of the culture itself. Okay, so a Chinese company is a reflection of a Chinese society, and in terms of values and the way people think, the way people communicate with each other, and the way people do things. Okay, so Chinese companies, in Chinese we call 家长制.
Yeah, 家长 is...
家长 is like your boss, is like your father.
Literally, 家 means family, and 长 can mean leader. So 家长 is the family leader, or the head of household.
And then a company is like a family, and then it's run like a family. And traditionally, of course, our paternal kind of a power is very strong. So everybody respect their fathers and the grandfathers, and then the fathers, they have the absolute power over everybody else, right? And then sometimes to the extreme, it's not everywhere, but in the extreme, I would say that Chinese companies sometimes are governed or managed by the factor of fear. Fear. People are very afraid of their boss, and then they dare not speak. They just obey. So usually in the meeting, in the Chinese companies, the lower ranking staff do not speak a lot. They just silent. They're silent, and then they just listen. Okay, listen to what the boss tell them to do. Right? However, in the Western companies, there's a lot of debate and then voice and opinions going on, right? So there's a very different kind of culture.
That relates to one of the words, when I asked you what sort of words you think are relevant slang words in a cultural context, you mentioned 领导, which is something that I didn't think about that as a slang word at first.
领导 in Chinese, literally, of course, is someone who is leading. But the others, I think that the meaning behind it is that the guy who have the power.
Right.
The guy who are in control. So everybody is talking about 领导. Okay, so it looks like everybody is working for their 领导.
They want to know, what does the 领导 want? What does the 领导
think? Lin Dao today is very busy, so it's very difficult for us to talk with him about this issue. Tomorrow, Lin Dao is not in a good mood, so we better do not talk with him. Okay, otherwise he will we will have a hard time. So the whole company is influenced by the will, by the leader, the individual leaders too much. So that is reflected in people's language. They use the words like 领导 a lot. They use the word like 汇报 a lot.
Yeah, 汇报 meaning to report.
Yeah. 汇报 means that you report something from a lower ranking position to a higher ranking kind of executive. In English, we use present.
The word presentation, I think of that as being like, I have something that I want to share. I want to present this to you. Whereas 汇报 has more of a feeling of...
汇报 means I have something to ask for approval. Or ask for your opinion. Okay, so that is very humble, you know.
Yeah, I need the 领导 to okay this.
Exactly. So in Chinese companies, everybody needs to stand and appear to be very humble, modest. Okay, you cannot say, I'm very confident and then I know what's going on.
Yeah.
So you have to respect 领导, respect your colleagues. So that is the Chinese way.
Yeah.
Or this harmony and then social interpersonal relationships are quite crucial. It's not about individuality, okay? It's about a group of people.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
Which sounds terrifing to a lot of Americans.
Oh yeah, but
I can't be my individual.
Yeah, okay. But for Chinese, this is something natural. This is an environment that we feel very comfortable about.
Yeah. The last question that I have for you is, if you could let everybody in the West know one thing about China, what would that be? And one of the things that you sent back to me in the pre-interview was that there are, in all caps, there are many Chinas.
Yeah, that is a phrase I was told 20 years ago. We do orientations to our Western companies, clients, and then we have this phrase for there's no one China. Economically, I'm not talking about political power, right? I'm talking about economically, in terms of market, consumer, lifestyle, mindset, whatever. There's many different Chinas. So China culturally is like Europe, okay? So there are different kind of, even though there is a underlying kind of a value, but in terms of behavior and lifestyles are very different. So that, of course, that gives this emphasis on the necessity to further into the understanding of China.
All right, so just talking with you for an hour, I learned quite a bit about the industry that I that I used to be in. But now let's get to the slang. Let's do this conversation one more time, and then we'll go through it line by line and introduce the new words.
李总，我们对一下我的方案。
你的方案有问题啊，不够创新。
啊？什么意思？
就是没有突破啊，格局不够大。
好吧，那我重改。
快点吧，下午要给领导汇报啊。
I feel that your investment in this character of Li Zong is deep. like you have played this before in real life.
No, because I've seen so many different Li Zongs all the time.
We did get lost in the jokes a little bit, but eventually we came back to explain the conversation line by line.
李总，我们对一下我的方案好吗？
Li Zong. So Li is a family name, one of the most common family names, and Zong comes from 总监, which means director, right?
Originally, it comes from 总经理. It's like Li Zong means general manager Li.
Yeah, so 总 means general and 经理 would be manager.
Yeah, general manager, yeah.
Okay.
But now it's a very kind of, it's very useful word for broad ranks.
Yeah.
So it's always safe to use this 总 with the surname to anybody you meet in China.
Really?
As long as he has a little bit kind of achievement, professional achievement, you can always call him 总.
So you put their surname there and then call them 总.
Yeah, it's
and
safe.
It's sort of a
it's
respectful professional way.
Yeah, it can be the CEO of an IPO company, public company. It can be just a director. You always use 总. For example, when I go and I meet my new client, and there's a group of people out there, I know nothing about them, and then I know who is more important, who is not that important, but I know their surname, right? It's safe for me to say 李总, 王总, 张总. Right?
Yeah.
It's safe because this is a business customer over here.
I don't think we have an equivalent in English. I think that we would call them Mr. So-and-so. We wouldn't call them like director or boss so-and-so. This is something that often gets translated, I think, as Li Zong would be translated as boss Li, which I think is a bad translation. That's literally what it means, but it's a bad translation because that has a weirdness in English that's not present in Chinese.
There's no counterpart.
So the rest of that is 我们对一下我的方案. 我们 is let's. 对一下 means go over.
Go through, or communicate, or let's talk about my proposal. Yeah,
because 对 means to. It literally means correct in some cases.
Yeah, correct, and then just 对话, dialogue.
Yeah. 一下 just means for a moment.
Yeah,
so 对一下 is sort of like, hey, let's align for just a minute on this.
Exactly.
Let's just sort of go over this for just a minute.
Exactly.
So 对一下我的 方案 means
My
proposal.
proposal, yeah.
Yeah. So 我们对一下我的方案 Let's go over my proposal.
And 李总 will say, 你的方案有问题，不够创新。
Yeah. 你的方案 your 方案 your proposal 有问题 has problem. 有 is has and 问题 is problem. And 不够创新 不够 means not enough. And 创新 is
Innovative.
yeah. And this is the buzzword. Like people say 创新 all the time.
Yeah. So how funny is it's just about the proposal, and you use big words like innovation to judge.
But we do
a
that,
single
right?
proposal, right?
Like,
yeah.
and our clients would talk to us when we would write a proposal,
Yeah.
and we would present, for example, to Jaguar, who was one of the clients that we both had.
Yeah, and it's not
back
不
in
够
the day.
创新。
Yeah, but there's no 创新 in this proposal. Like, what do you? This does not represent our brand. Our brand is 创新, and you have no 创新 here. It's not innovative.
Yeah.
And so
It's a politically correct thing to say.
right,
Always,
and it's great because even if you don't know exactly why you don't like it, you're going to say it's not 创新. It just sort of covers your.
Yeah, it covers everything.
And so I replied,
什么意思？
什么意思? This is a very common phrase. 什么 is what, and 意思 is meaning. So what does that mean? 什么意思?
Yeah.
It might be a little bit impolite for me to say 什么意思?
Because in your little dialogue, they are kind of close in terms of ranking. So
Right.
as 什么意思? This kind of tonality is okay. So typically, probably this Mr. Lee is a line manager.
Right.
And then Mr. Zhou is just like a common staff.
Yeah.
But when it is a director or general manager, you will not say 什么意思? You won't say it.
Right. So if we're close, I'm still calling you 李总. So you're a manager of me in some sense, but
Yeah.
we're close enough in rank that I can still say 什么意思? If you were the 领导 and you said 这不够创新, how
Then-
would I reply to that? Or would I reply to that?
I would not say anything.
You just have to.
Just be silent
And
don't
just-
say anything. Don't
and-
say anything because your boss after say 不够创新, he will automatically say more about your proposal. You just say nothing, okay, and listen. Then say that I'm listening. That's okay. I have no argument. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But we're close enough that I said 什么意思? And then you replied.
就是没有突破，格局不够大。
就是没有突破。就是 is it's sort of almost a place filler.
Yeah.
It's just what I'm saying is 没有突破. 没有 is doesn't have, and 突破 is breakthrough.
Yeah, big.
Which is similar to 创新 in
Yeah,
a way.
yeah.
Like it's sort of a buzzword. It's like
Yeah.
this is very 突破.
Yeah.
Or we don't this is not. There's no 突破 here. There's no
Yeah.
breakthrough here. There's nothing new here. 就是没有突破.
You can also say it's not disruptive.
Oh yeah.
It's not
So
disruptive.
So disruption often translated as 突破?
Sometimes yes. Sometimes it's called 颠覆. Yeah.
颠覆 means to like overturn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 颠覆 or 突破 could both mean disruptive in a way.
Yeah, it's always. Yeah, one of the safest way to criticize others is that you are not disrupting the traditional way of thinking. 你有没有颠覆传统思维?
Right.
This is so common. Yeah.
传统思维, 传统 traditional, and 思维 is way of thinking.
Way of thinking, and then remember in China, this two word 传统 is always negative.
传统 means traditional, and it's always negative.
It's always negative.
But I thought that Chinese culture was highly traditional. It values tradition.
That's important.
Yeah.
But that is less important than disruption, than progress,
Yeah.
than innovation. Right?
Yeah.
Because, for example, if I have an agency, I have something new like a social media. I have some digital marketing skill, and then I present to my client. I will say, I'm better than those traditional agencies. You know, traditional agencies labeled as those agencies who do not change, who do not embrace the new way of thinking. So we do not. We use the word traditional very carefully, you know, and then sometimes Chinese tradition is brilliant. This is okay, but nobody wants to be to appear to be a traditional guy because this is not right here in China.
And speaking of innovation, the next sentence is 格局不够大. So first, 不够大, 不够 is not enough, and 大 is big, so not big enough. 格局不够大. The 格局 is not big enough. What is 格局? How do we?
格局 is very difficult to. It's like a whole structure. The whole, for example, usually we use the word with the multinational kind of international political power. How they deploy their their power across the world. Like the US, right? They have these troops in Middle East and whatever. So there's a 格局, the global kind of a layout of power.
Like the overall scale, the overall organization.
Yeah, an overall picture, the big picture or big kind of architecture of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So originally it's very big. And then nowadays it is too frequently used. It's even abused here in China. So everybody is talking about 格局, right? So your 格局 of thinking is too narrow or something like that.
Yeah. So you said my 格局不够大. My thinking is not big enough. I have not grasped the big picture.
Yeah. You're not visionary enough. Yeah.
And then I replied,
好吧，那我就重改。
好吧，那我重改。好吧 it means okay. And then 那
Then I will.
Then I will 重改.
Yeah, I'll do it again.
So I'll change it all again. 重改 is a very scary word. It means I have to change everything. 好吧，那我重改. And then you replied,
快点吧，下午要给领导汇报呢。
快点吧, 快 is fast. So 快点 means a little bit faster. 快点吧 means I'm telling you to speed up.
Yep.
And 下午要给领导汇报哦. 下午 is afternoon. 要 means we must.
Yep.
We have no choice. 下午要给领导汇报. So 领导 is leader. And 汇报 is report.
Yeah,
so
we're going to report to the leaders. Yeah,
给领导汇报 is report to the leader. 下午要给领导汇报哦.
Yeah, this is serious.
Yeah. I think 汇报 to the 领导 is one of the most stressful things.
It's stressful.
Someone can do.
For example, when I start up a presentation in the Western companies, when there is a present to the CEOs, whatever, I'll start my presentation probably saying that, hello, my name is Josh Lee. Today, I'm very honored, or I have the pleasure to share with you my views and then perspectives, right? But with the Chinese companies, with all the 领导 there in present, I would say, hello, every 领导. I'm very honored to report to all of you the humble work we have done in the past 3 months or something like that, you know.
You're very strongly positioning yourself as somebody who might be wasting their time, or like you're honored to have the opportunity with so many 领导 to sort of to share this with you.
You're not seen as arrogant, because being seen as arrogant is the end of your career.
Wow.
Yeah, in China, yeah.
So maybe I won't waste any more of your time. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Josh.
Josh, for out of body experience one more time.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Josh. Yeah, it's a pleasure. Yeah, have this conversation. Yeah.
The pleasure is all mine, 领导.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks again to Josh Lee for taking the time to talk with me. I hope to release that full hour-long conversation for you at some point, but we'll see when I can get around to editing it all. Also, thanks to Himalaya for their great support. It's a great place to listen to podcasts, and it's a great place to host your podcast for free. If you're not listening to podcasts on Himalaya, you're still listening to podcasts, but you could be doing it better, so just keep that in mind. Himalaya. It's a great podcast app. I love it. And last but not least, thank you to you for listening. If you have any questions or if you have any slang that you want us to cover in the show, just send us an email. It's that easy. You'll find the email in the description below. So, talk to you next time. Bye-bye.